In my previous life, my parents got divorced. My sister, Anna, went off with our wealthy mom, Kate. I ended up with my bankruptcy dad, Matt. Unexpectedly, mom remarried a man who turned out to be abusive and things went downhill. Meanwhile, dad's new business took off. Anna was so jealous she stabbed me in the stomach. Next thing I knew, we both went back in time to the day our parents picked up their divorce papers. This time around, Anna quickly said, "I love Dad. I want to go with him." I was secretly thrilled. I wasn't up for living on the run again. Anna clung to Dad's arm and whined, "Dad, let me stay with you. I love you the most. I don't mind roughing it." Hearing Anna, who'd always been spoiled, say this moved Dad deeply. He didn't even notice Mom, Kate, standing there with an angry look. "No way. Anna will suffer staying with you. I must take her," Mom protested. They fiercely argued over who'd get custody of Anna. It was like I was invisible to them. In the end, Anna insisted on going with Dad, leaving Mom reluctantly picking me. So I got in John, my stepdad's fancy car with Mom. Anna skipped off holding Dad's hand, throwing me a smug glance as they left. I didn't care. Mom was rich, and Dad's life was a mess. Before, Dad was always on the run from debt, and I couldn't focus on school. His failure and Mom leaving crushed him, and he sank into drinking, neglecting everything. Despite being from the same womb, Anna was always luckier. She was pretty and good at charming our parents. They favored her. Being the older sister, I was expected to give in to Anna, even after the divorce. But this time, picking Dad made him look good just once. As soon as we got in the car, Mom started criticizing. "You've always been ugly and unlikable. We're moving in with John, don't embarrass me." How funny. What kind of mom talks like that about her daughter? Whatever. We drove into a rich neighborhood. I knew John was wealthy in the past life, but not this rich. John got me into the city's top private school with a driver to take me. Making up for not finishing school last time, I poured myself into studying and consistently made the top 3 in class. Mom suddenly loved attending parent-teacher meetings, enjoying the envy and praise. Without kids of their own, I had a pretty comfortable life at their place. "Uncle John, I want to study abroad." A kid studying abroad? Don't let a few good grades go to your head. Mom snapped before John could respond. Turns out, you can dislike someone for no reason, even if it's your own kid. John wasn't the unpredictable, domineering man Mom and Anna had described. Instead, I found him smart, though proud, and self-important. Tensions between him and Mom arose soon after we moved in. Mom had looks, but not brains. Honestly, Dad and her were a pair. A typical rich kid, he was simple-minded and strong, but managed to marry Mom thanks to his family money and connections. When my grandparents were around, they covered for him. After they passed, Dad's friends dragged him into bad investments, losing everything his family left. Mom quickly found her next man and divorced him. My plan to study abroad was blocked by Mom, but with my grades, I could get into a top school here easily. "Anna's here. Is Mom in?" "She's shopping, but your sister's studying upstairs." I heard Anna walk towards my room and open the door without asking. "Emma, stop pretending. Who are you trying to impress acting so studious?" She grabbed my book. Despite living with Dad, Anna constantly visited to get money, jewelry, and clothes from Mom, all stuffed into a carload. Then she'd return home just to have Dad gamble it away. Dad, now a drunken gambler, made Mom want Anna to live with us. She even tried convincing John. He agreed, but ended up not getting custody because Dad wouldn't let go. He needed Anna to extort resources from Mom. "Books making you dumb. Studying all day won't change how you're less pretty and your parents' least favorite. Good times are all thanks to me, so enjoy them while they last." She ransacked my room, though this was her princess room in the past. After rummaging, she said, "Can't even enjoy life. Look at what you've bought, just sitting around reading smelly books." I ignored her antics. "Anna, is my sweet Anna here?" I watched Mom dote on her daughter in my trashed room. "What's here worth taking? Let's go to my room, full of stuff I just bought. Take whatever you want," Mom said as she left with Anna, not even glancing my way. Housekeeper Sarah came with fresh orange juice and tidied up. "Never seen a mom play favorites so obviously." "Doesn't matter," I said. "Their good times won't last." Downstairs, a fight broke out. "You have some nerve, living off me and then seeing someone else." With a slap, Mom's face stung red. Anna ran in to defend her mother but was shoved aside by John, fuming. "Haven't mentioned your darling daughter yet. Said we'd each take one. Why is she here taking half the stuff every time?" "It's my daughter's, not your concern." "Yours? Look at what you're wearing. Who paid for it? Now you expect me to support you all?" "John, you're complaining. If you weren't sterile, I wouldn't need to do this." That remark from Mom made John lose it. He completely lost his cool, tossing her stuff everywhere. Kate tried to step in but got pushed to the ground instead. No one dared to intervene, and Anna just sat trembling in a corner. To be honest, John married Kate because she was pretty and they had 2 kids. After they got married, John started grooming me more like a successor than anything else. Back in the day, Mom took advantage of this and shamelessly squandered John's wealth. Anna might have looked pretty, but she was as dull as a doorknob. Well, that would be one thing, but these 2 were greedy and not too bright. Mom was keeping someone else on the side, and Anna would go around bragging that everything John's would be hers one day. Naturally, John heard about it. I mean, anyone would be ticked off hearing someone talk about inheriting their stuff while they're still very much alive. You can't really get close when you're not actually related by blood. So, John brought his nephew over to groom as his successor and kicked them out. In this life, Mom got kicked out again, but this time, John didn't throw me out. Emma, you'd be better off with me than your inexperienced mother. All my prior efforts haven't gone to waste. John knows I'm smart, ambitious, and have vision. I always put him first and seek his advice before making any big decisions. I've even talked to him privately about taking his last name. Of course, my fashion-obsessed, brainless mother has no clue and doesn't care. Mom refused to leave, saying she'd rather die there. She underestimated John. A man who built a business empire from scratch isn't like my weak-willed, trust fund dad, nor would he fall for her little games. Sarah, get her some clothes from the bedroom, John said, calling security. Just like that, Mom and Anna were thrown out. When John walked by my room, he patted my shoulder. Emma, focus on your studies. Grown-up stuff isn't your concern, he said. I nodded. Stupid people stay stupid, no matter how many chances they get. My life wasn't affected one bit. Mom asked me to plead with John in secret, but there was no way I would. Instead, she called every day, hurling insults at me. Without Mom's support, Anna had it rougher. Her grades were terrible, and she hated studying. Dad stopped sending her to school and racked up a bunch of debt. I was focused on preparing for college entrance exams while John was super busy, hardly home. One day, on my way to school, a group of punks blocked me. Our family car was in the shop, so I had to walk home. Not long after leaving school, some guy stopped me. "Are you Emma?" he asked. Before I could reply, he covered my mouth, blocked my path, and dragged me into an abandoned warehouse. I got kicked in the stomach and couldn't get back on my feet. They didn't say a word, just went to town on me. "Sister, living it up in the mansion, huh?" Anna sneered, looking down at me. "Bitch, you fooled me. John's treating you like treasure. Even kicked Mom out, but you're still in that house. I gotta know what dirty tricks you used, or maybe it's just your plain face." Anna and Mom both relied on their looks to manipulate people, so they assumed everyone was like them. As Anna pulled out a knife, waving it around my face, the punks around us couldn't sit still and stepped in to stop her. Then, we agreed to just rough her up a bit and let her go. "Now you've removed her blindfold and brought out a knife?" Ben was Anna's boyfriend. Those punks might have some street loyalty, but pulling knives was a line they wouldn't cross. "Anna, just scare her a little. She is your sister, after all." "Pfft, she doesn't deserve that title," Anna retorted, spitting on me. At least she listened to reason and kept the knife away. Unable to stand after the beating, they finally let me go. Limping home, I flagged down a cab back to the villa. Nobody was home when I got there, only Sarah. Seeing my state, she spoke with concern. "You left this morning just fine. What happened?" Covered in bruises, Sarah carefully helped with my injuries. That evening, John finally made an appearance, alongside my mom, who looked all dolled up. They'd reconciled. John showed some concern, but Mom didn't hold back, saying, "Always causing trouble outside, unlike your sensible sister, Anna." "Yeah, sure, beating me up with a gang during the day, then coming home to flaunt it." "Mom, aren't you curious who did this to me?" I shouted in frustration. "Who else? Who knows what shady stuff you've been up to?" She shot back. "Emma, what happened?" John interrupted her critique. I pointed at Anna and said, "Anna brought a gang to ambush me at the school gate." "You've gone mad. What rubbish are you spewing?" Anna burst into tears, turning the tables and accusing me. I'd already backed up footage showing me being taken from the school gate and Anna at the abandoned site. While not exhaustive, it was enough to lay things bare. John, baffled, couldn't fathom anyone so sinister as to kidnap and assault their own sister. "We should inform the police. This is too serious to dismiss." "How does this prove Anna did it?" "You're disgraceful, Emma. I might have overlooked you lately, but you didn't need to set Anna up like this." My mom twisted it around, blaming me instead. "Anna, do you know this person?" Anna denied involvement, lying that she was just passing by. "Mom, please trust me," she added and slapped me, leaving me too stunned to react. After the slap, she fainted dramatically. Yet again, the one acting mistreated was her, while I was the one beaten. "Great, now you've upset Anna. You're truly wicked. How did I end up with you?" Mom cradled Anna into a room, even calling a private doctor for her. I dragged my battered self, without even a word of comfort. "Emma, don't hold it against your mom. It's just her nature. I'll have the doctor check you too in a bit." John attempted to console me. From inside the room, Mom continued cursing me with all kinds of fiendish language. Who knows where you get this temper? Our Anna is always the sweetest, most sensible girl. Once Mom and John were back in their room to rest, Anna awoke, not even a little harmed. She seemed upset and came to my room that night to warn me. You think you can beat me like this? Don't be naive. It's me that Mom and Dad have always liked and favored. This isn't your hardest time yet. I'm waiting for the day your tough times start. In my past life, I had a tougher time than she did, and she never picked on me. Until I started living well, she became insanely jealous and dragged me down with her. In this life, she believes she'll be the winner in the end but still can't stand to see me doing better, so she found someone to mess with me. No matter the time, she can't stand seeing me happy, but in this life, it's her who's suffering. John's company hit a financial crisis, and none of the projects brought in a big cash flow. Mom insisted John declare bankruptcy, but the company was all his hard work. John finally decided to sell and mortgage everything he could, using all the funds to fill the company's financial hole. As a result, we moved out of the villa, and the servants and drivers were let go. Just like in the past life, John's family began to decline officially. Meanwhile, Dad Matt's business took off, landing many big clients and growing rapidly. Since we moved, Anna never visited again. Mom was nowhere to be found, became increasingly disgusted with John, and abandoned me. I discussed with John about taking a break from school to help him. He initially disagreed, but the company was short of hands, and he eventually agreed. I started working at John's company. John went abroad for business, leaving the company in the hands of me and his nephew, Ethan. Ethan's older than me, but having lived 2 lives, I handled many things quite well. He went from seeing me as a little girl to consulting me about everything. Now, we're allies. One night, just as Ethan and I got home, we saw a luxury car parked at the entrance. Anna stepped out, draped in designer clothes, with her boyfriend Ben by her side. Looked like she came to show off. Emma, why didn't you tell me you moved? Living in this dump, you're hard to find. She glanced at Ethan beside me. Oh, is this your new boyfriend? He's not much, is he? In my past life, she only cared about eating, drinking, and having fun, so she naturally wasn't familiar with Ethan. I ignored her, walked around her, and headed inside. Didn't hear Anna talking to you? Her boyfriend blocked my way, acting like a sycophant. Ethan, who usually seemed frail, stepped up when it mattered. He pushed Ben aside. Anna didn't expect him to stand up for me and got angry. She came at me wanting to slap. I'm not easy to bully. I struck first, slapping her back. Then I kicked her hard. She fell to the ground in a mess. I didn't look back, just pulled John into the house. You dare hit me, you jerk. Anna, never feeling this wronged, went ballistic outside. I grabbed a pot of water, opened the door, and poured it over her head. With all this time cursing me here, you'd be better off keeping an eye on your fortunes so you don't go broke again. Anna couldn't believe I'd say that, thinking I was cursing her. She started shouting like a fishwife at the door. Her boyfriend finally had enough and dragged her away. John returned from abroad and settled the business there. In the meantime, Ethan and I had stabilized things domestically. Yet, the difficulties weren't over. The company was in a transition phase. If we didn't make it through, it'd all be for nothing. That evening, John came to me. Emma, I'm back, and Ethan's here with the company. I hope you focus on your studies for now. If you want to study abroad, I can arrange it for you. It touched me that John remembered I wanted to study abroad. But now, I didn't want to leave anymore. John, with the company struggling and no money for me to study abroad, I want to stay here, finish college, and help you after graduation. John didn't pressure me and repeatedly expressed that, since he had no kids, I was his child. I got busy studying for exams, needing to catch up on all subjects in half a year. Since John hit trouble, Mom hadn't shown up, taking all the valuable stuff from home. Half a year later, I got into the best university. Anna dropped out long ago and now held a minor position in Dad's company, living idly with her boyfriend, Sarah, living off others. John reserved a banquet at the finest hotel in the city for my college entrance dinner. Since it was a family affair, it was just a few tables for a meal. Anna somehow found out about this and coincidentally booked a table at the same hotel. But her news was about her pregnancy, celebrating becoming a mom. Arrogantly, she barged into my suite, ignoring everyone. So what if you did well in exams? You'll end up working for others. Unlike me, who has a husband who loves me, a dad who supports me, and a company to inherit in the future. Walking up to me, she sneered. Useless, I'll always be the winner living better than you. She threw a fit. Dad watched impassively. John's relatives whispered among themselves. John had enough, stepped in front of me, and scolded her. Enough is enough, where's the staff? Defending me, John publicly declared, everything I have will be Emma's. She's my daughter. Today, we're not only celebrating my daughter's college admission, but I'm also officially announcing that from today on, Emma is my daughter. Yes, since my mom and I came to this family, I'd always called John Dad. He never told me to change it today so I could hold my head high in front of my actual dad and Anna. He promised to give me his estate. In this moment, does blood even matter? Dad, I called out in front of everyone. Ha! A nearly bankrupt company, what's the point? Anna scoffed. You aren't welcome here, please leave. Like I want to stay. Throughout, Dad fawned over her. In college, I continued helping out at John's company. He taught me everything without holding back. I got used to calling him John. He didn't mind, never made me change. This time, John and I were at a private resort. Across from us was someone critical in the industry, Zoe. We had a great conversation all afternoon. In my past life, getting in with Zoe was how Dad and I turned things around completely. The company had already started to improve but was still like an empty shell. I'd given everything to help the company stand its ground, and that's how I met Zoe. He admired my abilities, trusting I'd get things done. In this life, while Dad and Anna were still lost in their little joys, I was already in touch with Zoe. In such a big market, whoever enters first wins and gets it all. Next up, we had a great partnership. Zoe and I reached a collaboration agreement. Soon, all the partners in the industry came knocking on our door for cooperation. The cash flow turned positive, and the company was revived instantly. Anna's company's clients quickly switched sides to work with me. In less than half a year, I managed to buy back my old mansion and luxury car. The company became a leading enterprise in the area, making it to the news. Anna, overnight, went back to square one. Her company ended up bankrupt because its liabilities exceeded its assets. Dad liked to gamble, wasting the company's money at the tables. Anna, besides indulging, holding a useless position, just supported her boyfriend. Dad fled to another place, chased by debts. Anna couldn't support her boyfriend anymore, and he left her too. Pregnant and uneducated, she could only find a dishwashing job at a restaurant. One time, John and I went out to eat and saw her there, young, with a small belly bump, cleaning tables. When she saw me, she rushed over angrily, trying to hit me. She kept shouting things like, "Impossible, it can't be like this." Luckily, the boss stopped her. Her eyes were red, mumbling impossible and nonstop. The restaurant fired her, and I never saw her again. Mom, who was missing for a while, showed up again after John made it big. She cried, admitted her mistakes, saying she was tricked by someone outside. Seems like she couldn't survive out there anymore. John didn't say anything but let her stay in a guest room though. The dynamics at home completely changed. John agreed to everything I said, and Mom got dismissed every time she spoke. At first, she still treated me the same, cursing occasionally, trying to intimidate me. John reminded her either sleep on the streets or treat me better. She finally stopped targeting me, but I still felt uncomfortable, like she was watching me. Sneakily making calls, always going out. Sure enough, I woke up one day tied up in an abandoned warehouse. Who else could it be but her? Anna, come out. Anna's belly was flat, she lost the baby, and she looked aged, like a middle-aged woman. Someone who couldn't even support herself. Her boyfriend persuaded her to abort the baby. Only showed up when there was a profit, disappeared once things went south. Her boyfriend, Sarah, worriedly said, "Can we really get the money?" Rest assured, my mom said, John thinks highly of her now. Asking for some money is easy peasy. Turns out it was Mom behind this all again. No wonder she insisted on me drinking the warm milk she made last night while watching me. They planned it all from the start, waiting here for me. Whether it's the past life or now, Mom is always so biased, wanting me gone. Anna, I'm still your sister, you know. Sister my foot, I've been prettier, luckier than you growing up. How come you ended up with all the good stuff while I'm like this now? Don't worry, sister, cooperate nicely and I'll make your end less painful. She wanted to kill me to start over, but her boyfriend didn't dare. It means jail time. We agreed, get the money then leave, but kill someone and I'm out, he said, trying to grab the knife from her. Just then, police sirens blared outside. Inside, you're surrounded, release the hostage now. I always knew how jealous she was and wouldn't give up, so I and John planned, once taken away, he'd call the cops right after. Yesterday, Mom's sudden care made me suspicious. I texted John, only then did I drink the milk. The police surrounded the warehouse. Anna, give up, you'll seriously end up in jail. Coward, she muttered. So what, I'll start over again. In my last life, at a birthday feast I held for our father, I had already become a successful entrepreneur, surrounded by compliments. I remembered as a kid, it was Anna who was prettier and better than Emma. Yes, but now it's the opposite. Look at Anna now, conned by men, brainless, while her sister became successful. Anna, dressed so plainly, cautiously approached me. Sister, I'd embarrass you looking like this around you. Can you go to the mall nearby with me for a decent outfit? Before the feast started, her pitiful look convinced me of her lies. I took her in my new convertible to shop. But she went crazy halfway, gripping my steering wheel, driving us towards a truck. Next thing we knew, we were reincarnated. Funny how she still doesn't know I came back too. Her boyfriend wrested the knife from her, but she wasn't satisfied. She pulled out a gun from her pocket. "Today, no matter what, you're dead." Saying so, she pointed the gun at her boyfriend Sarah. "Try again and I'll shoot you too." Seemingly intimidated, he backed off. "Last warning, put the gun down, release the hostage," echoed from outside. She was deaf to it all, just dreaming of a restart. I closed my eyes, awaiting fate's verdict. 3, 2, 1. A loud bang, the bullet didn't hit me. Opening my eyes, Anna laid in a pool of blood. The sniper had been ready outside. Seeing Anna on the ground, I squatted beside her, whispering, "You know why the gun didn't shoot me even though you pulled the trigger? Because it was a replica gun. Your boyfriend was long bribed by me. Why else do you think he's with you? Rebirth didn't only happen to you." Anna looked at me with unwillingness, hate, but helplessly. I spent a large sum hiring a private investigator to find her boyfriend, bribe him to re-enter Anna's life, lure her into buying a gun, turning passive into active. She couldn't use the knife, had to use a fake gun, pushing the police outside to ensure my safety by triggering a necessary response. Solve a problem without lifting a finger, why not? This time I was unharmed, went home after a little inquiry at the police station. John and Ethanol were waiting at home for me. "Where's your sister? Why isn't she back?" Mom rushed me, asking where Anna was. "How do you know Anna was with me? Was it you who slipped the sedative in my milk last night?" Mom denied everything. I showed her the video of her adding the sedative and she fell silent. John, seeing even her own daughter poisoned, couldn't believe how cruel her mind was. I put the photos and some documents the private detective gave me on the table. They were all pictures of the guy she was seeing outside and some confidential company documents. Kate was selling this stuff to our competitors for money, a total backstabber. She looked dead inside, full of resentment, and went crazy trying to pull my hair, but she got stopped. "You bitch. Anna died because of you. Why did I even give birth to you? Is that something a mother should say? John wants a divorce anyway, and I'm already on his account. Now, she's the real outsider, betraying from within. Crying, yelling, threatening, those are her usual moves, but she refuses to leave. John couldn't care less anymore and just sees her as a bum he has to provide for. I'm juggling college while slowly taking over all the company business. Ethanol's become my right-hand man. He owns a part of the company, too. Before long, we went public. John ditched us, living it up around the world. She's trying to hurt me. Get her, quick. I need to hide or it won't end well if they find me. Seems like Mom lost it after Anna passed. She went nuts. Having her at home wasn't a good idea. I got her into a mental hospital in the city so she could get some rest. Months later, the hospital called. I had to go over. Mom had died. She had an episode at night, snuck out over the wall, walked for miles, mumbling about Anna. In the dark, she got hit by a car. Even as she died, she was saying Anna's name. "Mom, how much did you love her? How little did I matter to you?"